the signals, goes back to throw. Now looks to take off and run. Elway inside the 10 and dives over the ball.
What a great play. Great play by John Elway. Just phenomenal.
Check swing roller. Tulowitzki. Colorado, the National League champion.
Jokic has to put it up. Falling away, puts it up. Bang! Nikola Jokic knocks it down. His foot was on the line. A two-pointer. What a shot.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into Talking BS. I am your host, Stephen Zamora. You can follow me on Twitter at ZamoraBSB. I just want to kind of get down a nice little weekly recap of the week that we had so far. Basically, the Nuggets played the LA Lakers and the Memphis Grizzlies this week. My favorite one, I think, so far has been the Boston and New York game. I think it was the second day after opening night. That was a fun game. New York had a good run. They were winning for a little while, and then Boston just ended up putting it away. Yeah, and then I watched the Sixers and Bucks. That was a good game. Damian Lillard is fucking good, man. He is really good. He is really the perfect piece for what Giannis needs. Giannis, I could just see why Milwaukee would struggle so much at the end of games and stuff. And to have somebody like Dame is just like, it's such a perfect fit. So I got my eyes on Milwaukee. I think they're going to be all right. I watched the Suns and the Lakers game for a little while. That one was all right. Part of the Nuggets and the Grizzlies game, I went and rewatched it today. We'll get to that later. Like, who has been the most impressive to me so far? Granted, I haven't seen about half the teams probably right now. But so far, out of all the teams I've watched, the Nuggets are definitely number one. Let's just get that out of the way. The Nuggets they are by far better than everybody else, especially that Laker game. That Laker game really showed how good they could be. So I definitely got the Nuggets one. If I had to pick between Boston and Milwaukee right now, I'd probably put Boston a little bit ahead. I think that Drew matchup is going to be a nightmare for Dame. He's always really good against him. So, yeah, I think I'll have to put Boston just a little bit ahead of Milwaukee right now. But, I think Milwaukee's right there. So, it's almost in a tier. I have the Nuggets kind of in a tier by themselves. I got Milwaukee, Boston, and another surprise team that I actually have in that same tier as Milwaukee and Boston was New York. Even though New York lost to Boston in that game on Wednesday, they looked really good. I like their guards a lot. I like Quickly. He's really good. I like Grimes. He's really good. DiVincenzo was really good. And, of course, Jalen Brunson. Like, Jalen Brunson is – God damn, that guy's the man. Some teams that I wasn't really impressed by. The Heat haven't looked great to me. I don't think they've looked that good. Memphis, everybody's super impressed by Memphis. I was not. I guess they're backups, right? Like a lot of the guys that are playing, a few of the guys that are playing shouldn't be playing probably, and a few of the guys that are starting, they're backups usually. So Zion, I don't know if everybody saw that. Zion put Triple J on a fucking poster, man. It was a beautiful dunk. But yeah, I don't think Memphis has looked all that good. I think what happened with Denver is that they're stylistically a good matchup. I went on Serbian Corner and shout out Miroslav, and he asked me, what's a team you think Denver might struggle with or something like that. And the first one that came to my mind was Memphis. The way they play is very conducive to success against the Nuggets. They have the requisite pieces that the Nuggets kind of struggle against. Which brings me to another theory of mine. I'm starting to think, does girth maybe give Jokic more problem, like girth and strength? Does that give Jokic more of a problem than like length and, like premier shot blocking and stuff? I feel like trying to keep Jokic off of his spots is probably your best chance. But the thing is, like, he just has so many. Every spot on the floor is basically his spot, so it's really hard. But yeah, I was very impressed by Xavier Tillman. I thought he did a really good job. I think he was. I don't know if he was the best Grizzly out there, but he was up there. I mean, he finished with 13, 8, and 2. He held Yoke to 22, 12, and 7. And the game was like really grimy, really, man, that's Memphis basketball, man. That's Memphis basketball, especially at home. You have all these guys, a lot of these guys are role players, and like you have that home crowd, and they're going crazy, giving these guys energy. Marcus Smart is a guy who feeds off that. Xavier Tillman is a guy who feeds off that. Desmond Bane, all these guys, they feed off that energy really, really well. I remember, so 7 minutes in, they're just turnovers. They're running back and forth. Guys are throwing the ball all over the place. It was a bad turnover by Jokic. I was thinking at the time that they looked gassed. It was 5 minutes into the quarter, so I don't know if that's necessarily true, but it was sloppy. We'll just say that. Jamal had a nice block on Zaire Williams. I was impressed by KCP, man. P. Watt had a very good game, I thought, but I think KCP did deserve that deep hog chain, man. He was dogging Desmond Bane in the first half. All game, really, but especially in that first quarter. Like, Bane was not getting anything. I actually have a question for you guys. I mean, this is game 2, right? The refs were obviously like swallowing their whistle on a lot of stuff. Both ways, by the way. It was just a terribly reffed game, let's be honest. Is it smart for the referees to swallow their whistle early in the season? Or what's a better way to put it? Is it necessary? These guys could get hurt and stuff, So that's all I'm saying. It's like, we're not asking for playoff fucking basketball in game 2, man. Like, but I mean, I guess you also could say, this is the kind of game where at the end of the day, nobody did get hurt. So is this a game where it kind of just wakes up the body? It's kind of the slap in the face to wake you up, like let you know you're playing NBA basketball now, man. Like, this is, so in a way, I'm glad that they went through that early. Thank God nobody got hurt or anything. But just something to think about. I'll let you guys let me know what you guys think. Najee had a big block on Triple J. On first review or first watch, it looked like he got his hand on Triple J's jersey and kind of held him down. On the replay, I didn't see it. I looked back again. I didn't really see too much. So, good block. Zeke played pretty good. Najee gets a block. Jamal hits a nasty fadeaway. And then D Rose takes it down. I think he lost his footing. It looked like he kind of slipped on his initial step, kind of slipped forward, caught himself, threw it up. P. Watt comes up huge. P. Watt comes up with 2 like nasty blocks. It was real nice. Strawther came in the second quarter. Bench at that point had 17 points, 7 of 10 from the field. Very good game for the bench. P. Watt is hooping. I have a note here. MPJ looked tentative going into the second half. I thought he looked a little bit tentative throughout the whole first half, pretty much. Like, he was rebounding well, but like he was hesitant on his shot. He did a lot of like, I'm going up and passing out. A lot of pump fakes and stuff like that. Or, he would hit his step back and, just feel like he wasn't going to make it. So he would pass it out and stuff. But then right after I thought that, he hits this dime. I think it was the one to AG where he flings it fast. AG catches it and goes up. It was a good pass. It was either that one or he had another dime. I think it was to Jokic. I think he had 2 assists at that time. I think those were the only 2, and both of them were like beautiful passes by MPJ. Then, of course, right after that, MPJ hits this And I just wanted to put that in there because that is the most pure, beautiful shot in the NBA, man. Like, I love his shot. Right after all that, KD comes on and says, MPJ looks like a different player. So that was exactly what I was thinking at the time. I was like, oh man, like first half Mike and second half Mike, you are not the same person right now. Apparently, because I don't know, it didn't show on the altitude broadcast. They just played it as like a replay for some reason. I thought I was tripping, so I went back and tried to like find it again. I don't know exactly what the time was, but this beautiful like what it's unfair, man. It's unfair. This guy inbound pass 3/4 of the court on the money to AG, man. Like anyway, Memphis was keeping up with the starters. Like that was a good that was a good sign for them. I felt like Christian Brown was pressing a lot. I felt like he wasn't letting the game come to him. He was like really trying hard. And then P-Watt show was just continuing. Add some 3-point shooting. Give him a good pump fake and capitalize on those pump fakes and be able to drive and get good looks inside. And, this kid has Mikal Bridges potential. Another note for Zeke. This shit is driving me goddamn nuts. Zeke has got to stay on his screens, man. Like, it was pissing me off. I tweeted about it with the Lakers game. It was pissing me off all game this game. He did have a good game, but I just need him to screen. Just scream, my boy. Like, for real, like, bruh, Scott Hastings was like, this is a quote from him. He's got to stick on screens longer. He's got to hit a screen, hold it, and let that roll happen. You just got to do it, Z. Come on, man. Like, I don't know what it is. You always want to bail on the screen. Like, and you do a little shoulder touch and you run away. And it's like, no, bro, you got to screen right. Then, after all that, we get this gem. Oh, you're going to make me swan. Fourth quarter. Reggie had a good game. Very, very good game. Some might even say a great game. This is the Reggie we need, man. We need Reggie like this. If Reggie can pull these games out, he's going to be vital for the team. The Bruce Brown role is not impossible to fill. Christian Brown right now is a better defender than Bruce Brown was. If Reggie can produce offensively, that's everything Bruce provided offensively. Granted, it's not the same way, right? It's not the big dunks and, the great cuts and stuff like that. But he's going to start building chemistry with Jokic. And then when he does, they're going to have that 2-man game. And there goes everything that we needed. Plus, you have P-Watt off the bench now instead of Jeff Green. So far, P-Watt has been much better than Jeff Green was all season last season. So, it's 2 games in, but, we'll say that. So, clutch time comes on. The full starting unit, Jamal comes back in, full Memphis starting unit. It's clutch time. Yoke comes in, hits a step back, puts him up 4. Grizzlies go and make a run. They take the lead at 4:26 after Rose had a nice little step back free throw jumper over AG. So, and then they call a timeout, right? And you're like, okay, whatever. Like, calm down, guys. Let's do this. Memphis is bumping, bro, at this point. On that timeout, Memphis was bumping. Like, their crowd was going. Shout out to Memphis, man. You guys have an amazing crowd, for real. So if this crosses any Memphis Grizzlies fans timeline, man, like, shout out to y'all, man. Y'all love that fucking team, and I respect to you guys. But then it goes back. Yoke hits a 3-pointer. Takes the lead back 100-98, and it completely shifts the momentum at that point. Memphis goes down, misses something. I forgot what it was. Then Jamal comes back the next play, hits the shimmy. Like he caught Smart sliding mid-slide, hit the shimmy because, like, if he would have went, Smart would have been out of position. So Smart had to commit. Smart just flew, and Maul just stood there. Boom. Put the brakes on. Smart flew into the fucking nether. Then Memphis pulled a beautiful play. Nice little back screen. AG got caught on whoever the Nugget player was that was on the other side of the screen. Ran into him. Triple J gets a nice alley-oop at 137. And then Maul comes down, simple DHO action with Yoke. Gets a nice little dump off to AG for the dunk. Memphis brings it down, and AG plays beautiful defense on Triple J. Just wonderful, wonderful defense right there. He moves with him laterally. He's bodying him. He's putting his chest on him, and he goes straight up and he contests, and it's a great fucking defense. And then the fouling starts at like 12 seconds left, and that's pretty much the game. So yeah, your Denver Nuggets win 108-104. They had two very good games. It was fun to watch. They're both very different games. The LA one was everything that Nuggets fans wanted, man. Like it was playoff atmosphere. The offense looked unstoppable. Passing and cutting and great, just beautiful play, leading to an easy dub over a team who on paper, who arguably is one of the best stylistic matches for the Nuggets. And we tore them to shreds. That is one thing I'm so excited about, man, because there's not many teams out there who have the size to match up with Denver. The Lakers are one of them, and it did not fucking matter one bit. The Memphis game was grimy, was dirty, was in the mud. It was sloppy. It was turnovers. It was defense. It was deflections and just fouls and, non-fouls, So it was fun. I think it was what Denver needed. I think it was what I think the two games are what Denver needed. I think they needed a good flashy win and a dominant win on ring night and showed the Lakers up. And then they went into Memphis, which is one of the hardest places in the league. I think last year it was the hardest place in the league to win. That brings me into the whole clutch time stats. I wanted to do some research and look into this stat. So I went through and I broke down. So I might have missed stuff. I don't have access to like statistician websites where, you can just type in whatever stat you're looking for and find it and do all that stuff, right? So I just did it the old-fashioned way. I went back and watched each play, right? I would basically measure when the starters came in clutch time or at the fourth quarter, right? So I think both times it was around 6 minutes, 6 or 7 minutes for both games. Starters on starters for the ending stretch of the game. And this is what I found out. In that clutch time, Denver versus Memphis, they shot 5 for 9 from the field and 2 of 4 from 3 and had 2 turnovers. Memphis shot 6 of 8 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3 and had 2 turnovers as well. So clutch time, Memphis did play a little bit better than Denver, I would say. They had a 50% three-point percentage, 6 of 8 from the field. Like Denver's defense has got to step up in those moments. But, they did enough to win, so, can't complain too much. Denver versus the Lakers, they were 7 of 9 from the field and 2 of 5 from 3. No turnovers. The Lakers were 3 of 5 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, and 3 turnovers. So altogether in the two games in clutch time, right, last 6 or 7 minutes when the starters versus the starters in the last stretch of the game, the Nuggets are 13 of 18 from the field with a 72% field goal percentage. They are 4 for 9 from 3 with a 44% three-point percentage. So 72% from the field, 44% from 3. They had 2 turnovers over the 2 games in those clutch moments. So the Nuggets offense is humming. The opponents shot 9 of 13 from the field for a 69% field goal percentage, 2 of 4 from 3 for 50% from 3. So a 69% field goal percentage and a 50% three-point percentage is not good. They did cause 5 turnovers, though, so they're doing enough playmaking on the defensive end to keep them in the games and stuff and keep them winning. So a lot of good, encouraging signs there. I want to keep track of these clutch moments. So pretty much every game I'm going to go through and kind of look that up and keep track of that because I honestly think that that's going to be what Denver hangs their hat on this year. Those clutch minutes when it's, our best 5 versus your best 5 in the most important part of the game. So I'll be keeping track of that and keeping you guys updated with that. I might be doing a show like this, maybe like once a week, just kind of recapping the week, sort of like this one. But yeah, I didn't mean to ramble on so long. So hopefully you guys are good. I hope you guys enjoyed the clips from the game. I also wanted to say the NBA is popping, bro. The NBA is fucking popping, right? We got such exciting players, dude. We got Wemby, right? Like people are so excited to see Wemby. Oh my god, he's so fun to watch. We got the Denver champion Nuggets, right? We got just young and up and coming teams that everybody wants to see. The Thunder, the Cavaliers, the Rockets, the Spurs. So a lot of good young teams. Detroit, right? Jalen Duren, man, Cade Cunningham. Man, just like young stars all over the place. And then we got really good teams and great matchups going on, especially at the beginning of the season so far, man. Cavs Thunder played. Memphis and Denver is a pretty good one. Boston and New York, Boston and Miami, right? There's just like a lot of good matchups going on. And I think that's just how it's going to be every night. And the thing that I love is, man, I go on Twitter, man, and I see everybody just showing out, man. Everybody's watching hoops. Like, it's not even just the Nuggets, bro. Everybody's watching hoops. And let's be on, like, I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to be real honest, right? Earlier this week, I was sitting there and I would see everybody's tweets and stuff. And I'd be like, man, like, I'm not the only one sitting here watching all these games. I'm like, some people are watching more games than me and stuff. And like, why am I sitting here talking on a YouTube channel and like trying to do this, man? I feel like a fraud or whatever. And then I thought about it and it was like, no, man, like this YouTube channel is not just like, the goal of this is not to try to make myself seem smarter than anybody or like I have a right to speak about the game more than anybody else. It's because I just feel like a lot of perspective gets lost in these games. And there's a lot of stuff that happens where I feel like I can explain it better because I do like doing this. I like explaining things and making them more digestible. And on top of that, man, like everybody watching these games just means that everybody's excited about hoops like I am, right? Like I don't just have to talk to the Nuggets or talk about the Nuggets with you guys, man. I could talk all these hoops, everything I've seen, right? Like I explain how I like the New York Knicks' guards and stuff. Like people are going to relate to that. They're going to see that, shout out to the Grizzlies fans, for being so loud and stuff like that. It's like, man, everybody knows, like everybody is watching these games and excited about basketball right now. And that's good for me. And that's good for all of us, man, because that just means more content. That just means more shit to entertain ourselves with. I'm super excited about it. Like I don't know. I had sort of imposter syndrome, right? I was like, man, I don't know, man. I just don't know what I'm going to talk about. But now I'm on here and I'm recording. And, even when I hit the record button, I was like, you know what? Even if I get like 5-10 minutes out of this and I just kind of break down the game, that I'll add to it later or whatever. But man, I've been sitting here. This is on 37 minutes now. So, I could just do this all day, dude. I could do this all day. So shout out all you guys. You're the fucking goats. I love y'all so much. I love y'all. Fucking for rocking with me, man. This shit is awesome. I love doing this shit. So please go and comment below. Please like, subscribe, man. I love this. I want to bring this to you guys more often. This is not necessarily what I thought this was going to be, but it's fun like this. I just get the freeform talk. So I'll probably be doing this a lot too on the channel. So shout out to everybody. Mile high salute. Have fun. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Have a good life. Have a good week. Have good family, friends, love, peace, all that.